students, you're welcome to class. In our previous lesson, we looked at the summary of piano and drums, and we also looked at the themes in that poem. Today, we shall be looking at some of the devices explored in the poem Piano and Drum, written by Lenrie Peter. What are our objectives for today? By the end of this lesson, you should be able to call out the figures of speech used in each stanza, explore the relevance of each figure of speech to the themes, and finally analyze other devices in the poem. Now, let us start with the diction and imagery. You know what diction means, the use of language in the poem. Now, the language of the poet is simple. When you read piano and drum, you discover that it is very easy for you to assimilate. Another thing I want to draw your attention to is that the language is highly graphic, arousing our senses of sight, sound, and touch. This is a poem where the three senses are highly aroused. Take, for example, the use of riverside, piano, green leaves, panther palms, hunter, white flowers, arouses our sense of vision. It arouses our visual senses. We are able to see the poem. Now we also have mystic rhythm, wailing, tear-furrowed concerto. This appeals to our sense of hearing, our auditory sense. And then we also have warmth, rugged, which appeals to our sense of touch. So you can see that the language of the poem is highly graphic. The next are the figures of speech explored in this poem. We have symbolism. Remember, I told you piano symbolizes the Western culture, and drum symbolizes the African culture. We have the use of simile. Look at this. Raw like bleeding flesh. Raw like bleeding flesh. The use of like here makes this expression a simile. Raw like bleeding flesh. And we also have metaphor. Look at this example. The naked warmth of whoring feet. Now look at the way whoring feet is described. Whoring feet is described as naked. So this is a kind of comparison, a distant comparison. So we have the use of metaphor here. And finally, we have repetition. You see words like lost, mystic rhythm, concerto repeated in the poem. So these are examples of repetition. Finally, let us look at the tone and the mood of this poem. The poet has a tone of confusion. What brought about this confusion? The dilemma created by his love for African culture and the influence of Western culture. So the poet seems to be confused. So the poem has a tone of confusion mixed with sadness. What brought about the sadness? You can see that the poet is missing his African culture. But he cannot go back to the African culture because the influence of the Western culture is very powerful. And what is the mood of the poem? The mood is that of nostalgia. The poet somehow relishes the days of the past when he was still young in his youthful days, relishing the African ways and culture. So the poet traveled back to the past when the African culture was still very powerful and predominant to the lives of Africans. So you can see the mood is that of nostalgia. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you copy your notes as usual, read the material and do your class. And when completed, please, it is important that you submit. This is where we shall stop for today. Thank you.